2 million years ago, long before cities, civilizations, or even language as we know it. Our world was inhabited by remarkable creatures, our earliest ancestors. The hominids. This was a time of change, a critical turning point in human evolution, when survival depended on adaptation, intelligence, and cooperation. The story of life 2 million years ago begins in the heart of Africa, where vast grasslands stretched endlessly under the burning sun, dotted with rivers, forests, and roaming herds of giant animals. Among predators like saber-toothed cats and hyenas, early hominids lived in small groups, relying on one another for protection and survival. They were not yet the fully modern humans we recognize today, but their lives reveal the first sparks of what would eventually become humanity. These hominids, such as Australopithecus and the newly emerging Homo habilis, were learning to stand taller, to walk more efficiently on two legs, and to use their hands for something no other species on Earth had mastered: making tools. With sharp-edged stones, they cracked open bones to reach the nutritious marrow inside, an innovation that gave them more energy for their growing brains. The savannas around them were both a place of danger and opportunity. Herds of antelope, elephants, and even now extinct megafauna roamed the plains, offering food if the hominids were clever enough to scavenge what predators left behind. But every meal was a risk. Approaching the carcass of a lion's kill meant risking death at the claws of fierce hunters. Still, hunger pushed them to take chances, and this daring behavior shaped the bold and curious nature of our species. As they evolved, these early hominids formed stronger social bonds. Communicating with gestures, facial expressions, and primitive sounds, they cared for their young and protected the weak. Behaviors that gave them an advantage over solitary animals. Their brains were smaller than ours, yet already developing the wiring for cooperation, problem-solving, and learning. Life was brutally difficult. Disease, predators, and accidents could claim lives at any moment, but those who survived passed on their resilience and ingenuity. Over generations, Homo habilis, literally meaning handy man, appeared, marking the dawn of true human craftsmanship. The tools they created were simple yet revolutionary, shaping rocks into cutting edges that allowed them to butcher animals, scrape hides, and break open hard nuts. These tools extended their reach beyond the limits of teeth and claws, giving them a survival edge unmatched in the animal kingdom. At the same time, fire had not yet been tamed, so nights were dark and dangerous. The flickering shadows of predators haunted the edges of their camps, and only together could they keep watch, using numbers and vigilance to survive. Their lives were a constant test, a daily battle against hunger, cold, and fear. Yet from this struggle, the seeds of humanity were sown. Slowly, brain size increased, curiosity deepened, and the foundation of culture began to form. The rise of early hominids was not just about survival, it was about transformation. Each discovery, each adaptation, no matter how small, pushed our ancestors closer to becoming fully human. Looking back now, we see that 2 million years ago was not just a distant past, but the very beginning of our journey. The first chapter in the incredible story of humanity. Without these early hominids, their courage, their ingenuity, and their will to survive, we would not be here today. And so, when we imagine life 2 million years ago, we are not only looking into the past, we are witnessing the birth of the human spirit. This is the story of our origins, the rise of early hominids, and the moment our species began to walk the long path that would one day lead to us.